Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Trading Table. Long time no see. This is Andrew. Jillian is not with me today. However, there are some changes coming to the Trading Table for anyone who might care. Even though we only have 140 subscribers, you know what? We're just gonna start somewhere, right? Anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, there's just be some changes coming here. So now, so we used to talk about, just the stock market, right? No futures, no crypto, no blah blah blah. Well, we did talk about crypto. Let me take that back. We did talk about crypto, but yeah, it was basically just stocks, right? No day trading. I mean, we did that time a lot like long ago. I was not really day trading options, just swing trading options. Now I do day trade futures, so I figured I might as well just do a trade recap because that's been going pretty nicely recently. Just kind of going over my bias today. This is just futures. You can see it's NQ. I only trade futures. So that's just what I'm going to be going over today. My bias, why I took the trade, blah, blah, blah. Normally, I would have my positions, like the little arrows that show you like where you enter and exit, but I can't log into my Top Step right now because it's broken. I don't know. I just can't log in. They sent out like a password reset email and I can't reset my password, and a lot of other people are having that issue in the Discord. So I don't know. Normally I will have it on the chart just to prove, I'm not just sitting here spewing bullshit from whatever. I actually take the trade that I say I take, because anyone can really get on here and just say whatever. And that they took this and blah, blah, blah when there's no execution on the chart. But yeah, I will prove it when I can log in to my Top Step account. Anyway, jumping over to our economic calendar. This has stars on it. I know a lot of people use folders. So this is just all red folder news. Basically, it's 3 stars. So the non-farm payrolls, this week was like the unemployed week. It was just jobs the whole week. Schultz job openings, employment change, blah, blah, blah. I'm proud to say that I actually did, I did contribute to initial jobless claims. So, the reason that Thursday, well, actually, I think Thursday was bullish. I don't remember how news reacted on Thursday. Now I'm kind of curious, though. When does that come out? 8:30. That's when Trump tweeted. Isn't that fun? Okay, so that actually did nothing. That literally did nothing. Sorry, I was looking on the chart, but yeah, it literally did nothing. But yeah, jumping back over to the chart, this whole week was just filled with news. So it was actually pretty nice, even though it was filled with news. Though price was so boring. Like, my goodness, price was boring. Anyway, so yeah, Friday, which was today, we had non-farm payroll at 8:30. Obviously, we made a huge bullish candle. So coming into today, I was bullish. I was already bullish, and I will tell you why in just 1 second. I was already bullish, because we had this previous day high resting here that we had not taken. As you can see, we did take previous day low right here before Asia session, and then we pushed up. So that's another reason I was bullish. But yeah. We're kind of approaching all-time highs. I'm not sure how far away we are from it. I can get this off the chart. Holy. Yeah, we kind of are. We're pretty close to all-time highs. And I think we're just going to get that final push to get there. So long as Trump and Elon Musk don't start like a civil war in America. I don't know what's going on. I've been seeing some crazy stuff on like TikTok and Twitter and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of a scary time to trade right now, because you could literally be in a trade and you could have like a 200-point candle come out. Like, I remember sometime in April, whenever Trump paused tariffs, I was actually in a long. I wonder if I can find the trade execution from it. That's from a funded account. I already took a few playouts from it, so I blew it on purpose so I didn't get moved to live. But yeah, I took that on a funded account, bro, and it just blew past like my take profit limit order, and I actually got filled for a lot more. So that was nice. But yeah, if you like, imagine you were in a short there, like, it would have completely liquidated, bro. Your account would have been liquidated if you were in a short and like the Trump paused tariffs and it went up that high, because it just would not fill your stop order. It filled my like limit order at like the top. But yeah, anyway, okay, that's enough yap. Okay, back into it. Okay, so yeah, today, so we had previous day's highs resting above. Holy yap. Where's Thursday? I like can't. Okay. So we were coming out of this bullish fair value gap that was made by non-farm payroll, and we tapped into it right away and pushed up. So I was like, okay, well we're probably gonna end up respecting this fair value gap most of the day. So I was just bullish. Obviously, we did retrace into it a couple times, which is to be expected. But yeah, jumping down to the 1 minute. It's normally where I take my trades, unless like I'll show you why in a second. So yeah, after non-farm, we kind of chopped around. Obviously, it's just London session being London session. London session highs was right here. So we can just mark that out real quick. I don't really like whenever London makes a high like this right before market up. It kind of pisses me off. But yeah, we ended up taking London's high like literally right away. We just blew past it. So, we did have that previous day's high resting above. If I can mark that real quick. So this is yesterday's high. We had that resting above, but look at how price was moving. There's no reason anyone should have thought that this was the draw for today, just because of the fact that, okay, 9:30 open, right? We had that early open market volatility where market just opened. Everyone's excited. Everyone's putting in their orders. Let me take a sip of my water real quick. This is the third time I've recorded this because of like issues. It's been a while. All right. Sorry if that was loud. So we came up, we swept London highs. I was actually looking, I still was bullish. You know what I'm saying? Like it was still like, even though we took London highs, I knew that we could have pushed up for a little bit longer. And I'm pretty sure there was like a bullish fair value or a bearish fair value gap that was unfilled. Yeah, there's a bearish fair value gap right here that was unfilled. I just drew that horribly. It did end up getting filled at like 11, but that was like my original draw. I was hoping to get a bullish entry after we just blew past London high. So obviously we just didn't respect London high at all and like sell off. We touched it, swept down a little bit, created some liquidity, and then boom, blew past it. But we didn't tap into this bearish fair value gap. So I was like, okay, this is a pretty nice draw. I do enter off of inverse fair value gaps, and that was not the case. So we came up here, we had this huge manipulation leg up, or I guess you could say this is actually we manipulated down without making a fair value gap, and we distributed up out of this accumulation zone. And we came up here, we started accumulating. Once price started moving like this, I was like, all right, bro, today is gonna be a long day. I'm gonna be on the charts for a minute today. We did end up at first, okay, so here, at first, I was kind of excited, right? I was like, finally, we manipulated out of this range. Then I realized, bang, we have these lows down here that we are so definitely going to take out, bro. Like, there's no reason why we're not going to come down and take out these lows, especially after we failed to tap into this bullish fair value gap. Obviously, if we had come up, right? If we had come up and tapped into this bullish fair value gap, I'm like, okay, it's completely cool. Like, we already tapped into it. We made some liquidity up here. We could definitely come down and target that again, right? There's a strong draw. No, the draw was here today. We needed to take out these internal lows that was made by the London sweep at like before the 950 macro open. Speaking of 950 macro's been so boring lately. Anyway, so we came down, right? We ended up accumulating for so long. Like, I feel bad for anyone who took this trade right here. We just inverse out of this and then, take it. But whatever. If you took that, I'm so sorry. Because that's not like you really have to use your brain today. Like, it was really not obvious. But even if you got stopped out, you would have made your money back. Like, look, here. Let's say you took this. Let's say you're stupid and you took this, even though we're like, it's just obvious that this isn't the draw right now, that we're coming down. Whatever. If you took this, he stops at the candle body, you just stopped out for 20 points, whatever, not the end of the world. Okay. But then, we started accumulating. Also, that's another reason why I will never understand why people say if you take one loss, get off the charts. No. Clear your head. You should be disciplined enough to be able to come back on the charts and, have another good setup, especially if your bias is still strong. If that happened to me and my bias was bullish, I would have looked for another bullish setup, which I ended up doing. I did not take that, but I almost did. So we had low resistance liquidity formed right here. We were just accumulating through this zone, right? So we're accumulating, blah, blah, blah. we can remove London high. That's so relevant. So we're accumulating. Literally no fair value gaps getting made, and if they were getting made, I'm not taking that, bro. Look at how price is moving. We are quite literally the definition of trading within a range. We're accumulating, and finally, we get some volume. This is a nice volume candle to the downside. And if you look right here, what did we do? Bang. We had equal lows down here that we swept out. We swept out all of these lows, even this one right here. We swept out everything. I was so bullish. I wanted a full port so bad, but I didn't, obviously. Come on. But yeah, so we ended up taking out those lows. And when we took out these lows, we had a fair value gap form. Wow. I think there was also a 2-minute gap that formed. I hate when TradingView does this. 2-minute fair value gap that formed. But I mean, I was watching this, and normally I would wait. Sorry. I would wait for the inverse on like the 2-minute, or even if there was like a 3-minute fair value gap, I would have waited for that as well, which there was. And you could have arguably gotten like, nah, you would not have gotten a better entry. I was just so strong on the draw. I've never been so certain in my life that we're coming up, we're taking out these highs. I have never been so certain. I knew for a fact after we took out these lows, especially these equal lows, that we were just going to bounce back and come back up. So yeah, I didn't really care to wait for the 3-minute, 4-minute inverse, even though you should if you're trading like this. If you're trading like AMD and you're entering off an IFVG for like a reversal, you should definitely normally wait. But I don't know, if you have intuition, you just have to have intuition. If you have intuition, you can, wait for the inverse. Bang, we inversed. I think you actually would have gotten a better entry or the same entry on the 3-minute. Whatever, bro. Okay, and then stops. I kept my stop loose because I was like kind of skeptical entering on the 1-minute, but I knew that we were gonna come up and take this. But at the end of the day, if we didn't, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm just stupid. So then you just put your take profit up here, and then honestly, you could have put your take profit at the top of this gap, but then guess what? You would have missed it by a tick. The price has been doing that all week. We're just fakes out by like one. I don't know. It's actually a couple ticks. Looks like one tick though. Damn near one tick. But yeah, price has been doing that all week. We're just fakes out by one tick. I've seen so many I don't know, bro. Price has been so bad recently. And a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't trade. There's still good setups like this. You know what I mean? This is a good setup. We also had SMT with ES. I just want to throw that in there. I'm not about to pull up ES's chart and show that, but whatever. Yeah, so enter off the inverse fair value gap, targeting those highs after we swept out the internal range liquidity is pretty textbook stuff. Obviously, you got faked out there. You would have made your money back. Okay, it's 2RR. We're talking here. When easy setup, easy setup. And then also, if you were skeptical about because that happened to me this week where I got stopped by one tick in the price ran to my take profit just because price has been really OW Acrobat. Just because price has been doing that recently, you could have honestly put your take profit here, and you still would have gotten away with a 2RR at the beginning of this low resistance liquidity. But this draw was super strong, and we had this untapped 15-minute gap up here, which I also think was like a 1-hour gap as well. It might have been a 1-hour gap as well. That was untapped. So yeah, super strong draw, super easy stuff. Ended up banking. I don't know. I don't remember. It was definitely over $1,000 on this trade on the good old XFA on Top Step. But yeah, pretty easy stuff. Going in next week, just get all this shit off the chart. I hate having stuff on my chart. Going into next week, if we look at the weekly, I mean, obviously it's anyone's guess with Trump could tweet one thing, we're just cooked. But, we do have this weekly gap here that we could retrace into. Also this weekly opening gap that's unfilled. That is unfilled, right? Yeah, that's unfilled. I'm tripping. But yeah, kind of like a V-shaped recovery. You know what I mean? Entering like a buyer's program. But yeah, we could probably target all-time highs as long as there's no tweets or anything. But yeah, that's all for today. So yeah, like I said, style of videos is changing. We can cater to everyone now because I day trade, swing trade, and hold shares, obviously. And then Landon is really into cash flow and stuff like that, and studying the financials of companies and like actual reasons why you should buy them, not just, hey, the stock looks cool. Excuse me. But yeah. So that's what's gonna be coming in the future. We should be dropping a video soon on our top stocks to buy right now. And then whenever we have like a list of at least 4 stocks to buy, we're probably gonna be dropping a video. And even more stuff before that. I don't know, just anything trading content. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the trading table. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section. We do have a free Discord, and it's not paid, no course, no bullshit. You just ask me questions. I'll help you out. Whatever. It's the best of my ability. I'm not like a complete ICT nerd. I just know what I need to know to be profitable, and it worked out. So, yep. We'll catch you guys in the next video.